Hey everyone, this is Ranger14 doing Tips and Advice Support Edition. We're going to start this week off with me making a mistake. I bought 3 green wards and 3 pots, therefore I don't have boots. The enemy team has a blitz, so they're more likely to invade. I made a really bad judgment call, made a really bad mistake, and I gave up first blood. Pay attention to how you get to lane and be as safe as possible if you don't have boots. Tip number 2, golems. Golems are a great way to give yourself a little bit of an advantage before the creep wave gets there. Have the range pull it first, and then you start kiting them. Make sure to hit them because they will reset if they don't have a target after their last hit. So you keep kiting back and forth, make sure the ADC gets the killing blow. That is why you're doing it. Give them a little bit more of an advantage. If you do it correctly, you can get back to lane without missing any creep and taking too much damage. Tip number 3, wards. Wards are a staple to any role that you play. If you notice here, I already have a ward at Dragon, so I'm going to put the ward in Tribush. If I don't have that ward at Dragon, I'm going to put it right where I am right now, which is in between so I can see both points of entry. It's also very important to ward bushes, but beware that if they do have a support in the bush, they can kill the ward you place down. I've already shown this clip, and I'm showing it again. If they place the ward down and your support immediately attacks it, as long as the ADC gets an attack off, you will kill the ward. Wards in the bushes are very important, but be smart about it. Tip number 4, bush control. Bush control is still important even if you're not playing Garen. Bush control gives you a lot of control in the lane, lets your ADC farm, lets you poke, and lets it so that you cannot be poked as efficiently. This is very important to maintain, and it saves you from placing a ward in the bush. If you lose control of the bush, throw a ward in there. It's not worth dying over, but it's definitely something you don't want to just give them. Tip number 5, cooldowns. Observing your opponent's cooldowns can show you an opening. Right now, Blitz knocks up and pulls Vayne, which means for the next little bit, we can open up on Caitlyn and they can't do anything about it. Blitz does auto-attack and throw an exhaust, but it's not enough to keep us off Caitlyn. By the time his Power Fist is back up, we have done enough damage to kill Caitlyn. We have to retreat from this fight because right now Blitz can kill Vayne. His hook is back up, so I'm going to stay in between Vayne and Blitz, so all he can do is hook me. He knocks me up, which is one of his cooldowns. Now he throws a hook, and unfortunately it hits Vayne after I dodge it. But again, his cooldowns are down, so we're going to pile on the damage. There is nothing he can do but auto-attack. There is no threat of us dying in this situation. Pay attention to your opponent's cooldowns. It can show you when an opening is available. The thing I really like about supports is they drastically vary from each other. Tip number 6, go with your advantages. Vayne can dish out a whole lot of physical damage in a short amount of time. So I'm going to save my shatter to when the exhaust is over. So as soon as I shatter, Vayne is going to pile on the damage. This unfortunately isn't enough to kill, but you can see what I'm trying to get at here. If you're playing Blitzcrank, you generally want to get your cooldowns off without your opponent being able to respond with their cooldowns. If you're playing like Jen and Soraka, you generally want to be a little bit more defensive and more of a sustain lane. Know your advantages, know your opponent's disadvantages, and exploit them. Tip number 7, 2v1 is go time. We notice that Blitz is leaving lane, which means Corki's left alone. We immediately open up on Corki and are able to do tons of damage before he is able to respond. All Blitz is able to do is pull Graves, but I'm still able to kill Corki. If you do have to leave lane, let your ADC know that you're placing a ward and to back off a little bit. Tip number 8, get your ADC kills. The reason why you're in the bottom lane is to support them. You're not their servant, you're their sidekick, but still, you're there to help them. As my Ashe is killing easy, I'm going to keep Graves busy. I continue to hit him with a couple things. I do have my exhaust and ultimate up, so I'm just waiting. I drop the exhaust and then the ultimate. I back away because I want my Ashe to get the kill. I'm here to help. I'm trying to be the good guy. Tip number 9, peel. This doesn't target all supports, but it targets a good number of them. The reason why you have CC is to keep your ADCs alive. I'm going to do my best to be an annoyance in the fight. I want to disable, I want to pull people away, I want to silence people. I want to be the biggest dick to the enemy team. As we're chasing Sona, I notice that Jace is trying to be a vulture and pick off Easy. Again, I'm going to turn around, knock him up, and when he gets to Easy, pull him away. I am my ADC's guardian angel. I am there to keep them alive and try to make it so they can do as much damage as possible. Just because you're a support doesn't mean your job isn't important. Be active, be involved in all the fights, and do as much as you can to help the team win. Thank you for watching, guys. That does part 1 of support. However, I'm not going to do any more individual videos for support and ADC. I'm going to do them together and release them on Sunday. I'm going to do more aggressive lanes, defensive lanes, farming lanes, and such. However, that's going to require a lot of games, and I cannot play that many games. So please add me in-game. I would love to watch your games, spectate, see what you guys do, add that footage. I would rather go from the community than from the pro games. So please let me know if I can watch your games. I would love to. Anyway, my name is Ranger14, and I will see you in the next video.